What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now this is a special video because I personally thought I'd never get this weapon. And yeah, before we get into it, like always, shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. We're doing work here on Xbox. And yeah, let's see where we're currently at. As of making this video, we are 13th in the world in Clan XP and 32nd in the world in conflict wins. Not too bad. Distinction of the week so far is another kamikaze. But anyways, we are going to be talking about this mother effin' exotic. I actually never thought I'd get this weapon, and it dropped this morning. I was just farming for a future build in the summit, and I got it to drop. So how I got the weapon to drop might be a little different from you. So let's go over the ways of getting the Bighorn exotic assault rifle, because we all know you can't get the Eagle Bearer this way. You can only get the Bighorn this way. So each of these strongholds you can do on difficulty legendary. And I have heard rumblings that people just get them randomly throughout these legendary missions. I've also seen that, it'll drop for a completion, and I've also seen it drop on other people's streams just from a named enemy kill. It didn't have to be the final boss, it was just a named enemy. Same thing goes with the summit. I personally got the Bighorn from the summit. I was farming legendary earlier today, and it just dropped randomly from one of the hunters on floor 100 on legendary. Now it was the last hunter, so I don't know if it would have to be the last one or not, but you can see all these strongholds you can do on legendary. Just try to get one of the named bosses, and then of course the summit. Now for me personally, it was the final hunter on floor 100 on legendary. Now I've also heard in the comments that someone's gotten it on legendary summit just from a random floor. I think they fixed that in a prior patch, so don't hold me to that. I'll look it up, and we can discuss it in the comments below. But enough about that. Basically, named enemy, legendary, that's how you get it. Now let's talk about it. So I've already said in the the community tab today, earlier, with a new poll with the Bighorn build as one of the options. So later on today I will go over a full build with it, but I did just throw on a crit build right now just to show you guys in the targeting range how this weapon works. So here it is, the Bighorn exotic assault rifle. Currently it's at 117.6k total damage with 800 RPMs and a 40 round magazine. That's right, 40 rounds. It's kind of weak in my opinion. Now we can compare this to the Eagle Bearer, which is the Dark Hours raid exclusive. So looking at this, it's got a little bit, just a little bit less damage, but 50 more RPMs. But the biggest problem in my opinion is the 20 rounds less it has in the magazine than the Eagle Bearer. Now you're shooting this kind of basically like a Lady Death, if you will. So let's compare these. So the Lady Death shoots at 900 RPMs with a 32 round mag. So you can kind of see what they did here with their logic is they would increase the RPM of a weapon and then completely destroy the magazine size to try to counteract, the burst and the damage and all that jazz. Now the difference here, and this is why a lot of people say the Lady Death is overpowered, is that the Lady Death also has damage to armor and a talent that amplifies more damage, which in all due respect, they did nerf it for PvP. I don't know if it's enough, but they did. Now, as far as the Bighorn, you can see it comes with that talent Big Game Hunter, where when you're scoped in, it changes the semi-auto, and you get 450 weapon damage each shot. And I'll tell you right now, you can hit some insane numbers with this thing. Now, with the whole headshots and whatnot, that's not as easy to come by on console that it is on PC. So in my opinion, that kind of decreases the value of the Bighorn for console players, because you really do get a lot out of this weapon if you are hitting headshots, but without some sort of weapon handling attached to this weapon, the recoil is just a little bit too much for console. Now, going back to the Bighorn itself. This one, luckily, I got God rolled from the Legendary Summit, so I would assume I would get a God rolled from doing, any sort of legendary activity. But this talent, again, we can switch to PvP. Let's see, 2%, 50, 10-4. 2%, 50, 10-4. So there's absolutely no difference in this talent, PvP or PvE. So I am well aware that on PC this thing probably is a wrecking ball. Now in console, I'll be testing this out. Obviously, I'll have a build later on tonight, and we can talk about that more later. But let's look at this. So it comes with crit damage, health damage, and assault rifle damage. It has a very low magazine, but fairly high RPMs, with a pretty good base damage as well. Now, going to the attachments that come with it, because they are locked. You have headshot damage for the optic, which goes well with the talent, Big Game Hunter. You also have accuracy for the muzzle and stability for the grip. Now, as far as the magazine, it comes with reload speed, which is not bad. But again, you have a 40 round magazine, it's kind of crappy. Now the reload speed is at 1.7 seconds. So you could increase this with, certain builds out there. And you could also increase the RPMs and also the mag size. This weapon, just base, in my opinion, is not the greatest, just because that bottom attribute is crit damage. I understand that, it's a headshot build, it's a headshot weapon with a headshot talent. You would assume it would have headshot there. But again, it doesn't have damage to armor, so it falls short compared to the Lady Death. It doesn't have damage to targets out of cover. And for console players, just in general, because I know there's some tryhards out there that are all headshot, gun-ho, which I dig it, respect. But for the rest of the people, they're just going to be shooting this weapon normal. So, I don't know. As far as a top tier exotic, I would say it's at the bottom range of that, but it's still pretty top tier. Just based off of its, the damage and the RPMs, I'm telling you right now, it does hit. It hits pretty hard, and I like it that way. But as far as the attributes and the talent, it could be a lot better. But then again, it is what it is. So here's your Bighorn. Let's go try it out at the firing range, and then I'll let you guys go. Now, there are a few different ways I'm going to be using the Bighorn, so don't get upset if I release, a few Bighorn builds, here in the future, because I am going to be testing it out, and with it being God rolled, that's kind of giving, someone like me a brand new, toy on Christmas. So best believe I'm going to give this thing a whirl. But for this build in particular, I just wanted to show you guys crits and headshots. So we're just going to do this on the easiest possible way. Invulnerable Elite, 5 meters, nothing crazy. Now looking at my stats, I'm sitting at 117.5 weapon damage with 51.8 crit chance and 203.5 crit damage with 120% headshot damage. So I'm going to be testing this out, and let's see what kind of damage we can get. Because if we go back to the talent, it says when scoped, it switches to semi-auto, and it gives you 450% weapon damage each shot. However, if you read the rest of it, headshots grant headshot damage, stacks up to 50, and once at full stacks, it'll start to go away. So I can stack this up to 50, which gives me 100% headshot damage, and I can scope in and get 450% weapon damage. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get a crit headshot with the, max of this big game hunter and see what kind of crazy numbers we can get. So yeah, if you guys are comfortable with that, hit that thumbs up. Alright, so just normal. 463 to the chest. That's a crit, by the way. And then just normal. Let's see if I can get a crit. There we go. So 653 to the head. And these are just normal, just everyday shots. However, so it said headshots grant us headshot damage. Oh. See how it's just rocking back and forth. There we go. And then max of 50, so I'm at 50 right now. And I'm just under 1 million per shot. But now it's getting pretty out of control. There we go. And then scope in. 2.2. 3.6 million. What is that? Now, like I just showed you, this is just me and my high sensitivity on Xbox just shooting headshots. I mean, even at the range is not the easiest for console players. Now, I know a lot of you might be able to put some accuracy and stability on this weapon and make it hit laser beams, but just stock on console? Not at all. 3.6. You guys see this? And that is what makes this thing stupid. Hold on. Let's see if we can use this with a Crusader shield. Because this is going to get dumb. Because I might want to make a headshot build with this and the Crusader shield. Because the Crusader shield for console players, it does slow it down a bit for you. So you're able to, hit a little bit more of your shots. And you move slower, so it kind of makes it better. Look at that. 3.6. That is insane. I might have to get like a headshot build together and see how high up I can get the Bighorn. That might be a thing. But alright, you guys. So this is the Bighorn. It shoots normal if you just do, simple aim and shoot. ADS. And then when you scope in, you get that extra damage. And you can see where you're just hitting stupid numbers. Look at that, 2 million to the chest. So you don't even have to be, shooting at the head. You could just do straight chest. Look at that. That is ridiculous. So for PvE, I bet you this thing wails. And for PvP, I bet you this thing melts. You're just going to have the burst damage. Because if you don't have the burst damage, this thing's going to get outmatched by, things like the Lady Death, Eagle Bearer, things like that. But alright, I'm Kamikazevondoom. Hope you guys enjoyed my full breakdown and review of the Bighorn. And tune in later, I will have my first ever Bighorn build. It's not the build I'm testing with right now. It's actually a PvP version. So, yeah, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.